Close your eyes and imagine yourself lying beneath a vast night sky, where the air is cool and still, and above you the stars shine not with urgency, not with blinding force, but with a quiet patience that has lasted for billions of years. Each one glows as if it were a lantern hung gently in the heavens, placed there not to dazzle, but to soothe, to remind you that the universe has always carried light, even in its deepest silence. Tonight, as you drift into rest, we will wander slowly through 101 sleepy facts about stars, not presented as lessons to memorize, but as whispers to ease your mind, as little companions to guide you softly into sleep. The first fact is simple and calming. Stars are suns, just like the one you know, but they lie unimaginably far away, so far that their light takes years to reach us. And yet, even across that distance, their glow touches your eyes tonight. Proof that even separation cannot stop gentle light from traveling, from reaching, from soothing. The second fact drifts into your awareness like a cloud. The light of many stars you see is older than every memory you carry. Some of the photons now glimmering above left their homes before human beings existed. To lie beneath them is to lie in the company of ancient travelers, and knowing this allows your thoughts to stretch outward, to release the urgency of today, and to join the calm patience of light that has journeyed across eternity. The third fact is softer still. Stars are born inside great clouds of gas and dust, called nebulae, and their beginnings are quiet, hidden, tender. Imagine a vast nursery in the sky where tiny points of light slowly awaken, cocooned within veils of cosmic mist. To think of stars this way is to think of the universe as a place of gentleness, of growth, of beginnings wrapped in silence. The fourth fact drifts down like the hush of night air. Stars are not scattered randomly, but gather in families, clusters, and galaxies. Just as you are not alone in your rest, stars too find one another, moving together across the ages. Some groups contain only a handful, like whispers gathered in a corner, while others number in the billions, great choirs of light singing silently across the universe. And the fifth fact, the one that lingers as your breath grows slower. When you look at a star, you are seeing the past. The distance is so great that each star shows you what it was long ago, not what it is at this very moment. To gaze at them is to gaze through time itself, to let your eyes drift backward, to surrender to the gentle truth that you are always surrounded by memory, and that memory itself can be a place of calm. Let these first 5 facts settle like soft pillows around you. They are not demanding, not heavy, not urgent. They are simply gentle truths, small lanterns hung above your thoughts to light your path toward rest. And as we wander further into the night, we will uncover more, moving slowly, carefully, until the stars themselves seem to sing you into sleep. But before we drift further, let me ask something small of you. If you find comfort in this journey beneath the stars, if these sleepy facts are guiding you toward relaxation and easing you into calm, I invite you to support this channel. Please take a moment to like this video, to subscribe so that together we can continue creating gentle journeys into rest, and to leave a comment below, perhaps telling me which star, which memory, or which piece of the night sky most soothes you. And if you know someone else who longs for sleep, consider sharing this video with them. Your presence here keeps these constellations alive. Your support keeps this lantern of calm glowing. Now breathe deeply once more. The night is vast, the stars are endless, and their patience is infinite. Tonight, you belong to their light. Block 2. The endless patience of starlight. As the night settles into a deeper blue and the world around you softens, you find yourself gazing upward as if the sky were a quiet ocean, and every star a lantern set gently upon its surface, drifting with a rhythm older than memory. Starlight does not hurry. It does not insist. It travels with the patience of something that has never known panic, crossing the dark like a calm breath that started long before you were born and will continue long after you fall asleep. If you let it, that patience begins to echo in your chest. Your shoulders loosen, your thoughts untangle. Time itself slows to the pace of light, which is paradoxically swift, and yet, in the way you feel it here, endlessly unhurried. And so, resting beneath this slow silver tide, we continue with our sleepy truths, facts that don't demand attention so much as offer company, the quiet companionship of knowledge that has decided to sit beside you until you drift off. Fact 6. Our sun is just one among hundreds of billions in the Milky Way. Imagine every worry you carry today as a small grain of sand, and then imagine a beach so wide you can no longer see where it ends. The sun, so large to us, becomes one warm grain on that beach of stars. The effect is not to make you feel small in a frightening way, but to ease the pressure. If the universe is this vast, then the urgency of your day can dissolve into it, like a footprint smoothed away by a gentle wave. You breathe, and the wave arrives again with fact 7. Stars live for a very long time, millions to billions of years. Some burn hot and fast, like brief sparks. Others pace themselves, glowing steadily across eras that dwarf mountains and rivers and empires. When you look up, you are looking into endurance. You are looking into beings of fire that have mastered the art of consistency. In their company, it becomes easier for your breath to find a consistent rhythm of its own. Inhale, exhale like a tide you don't need to control. Now let the next thought drift in softly, like a pair of dancers stepping into the candlelight. Fact 8. Many stars belong to families, binary and multiple systems, slowly orbiting one another. 2, 3, sometimes more, circling in long, graceful loops measured not in minutes but in centuries. Their gravity is a promise. We are held. We are not alone. Picture 2 points of light moving around a shared center. No haste, no collision. Just a choreography that continues as you close your eyes. Companionship, even at cosmic scale, is a calming thing. Your eyes grow heavy, and colors begin to matter more than numbers. Fact 9. Star colors reveal their temperatures. Blue-white stars hum at the hottest pitches. Yellow stars, like our sun, keep a steady middle warmth. Red stars glow in a lower key, calm and cool and unassuming. It's as if the universe painted its lanterns with a palette designed for rest. A field of tiny embers, a sprinkle of winter sparks, each tint a lullaby tone that invites your gaze to soften, not to analyze, but to float. And here is a thought that always arrives like a sigh. Fact 10. Some stars you see tonight no longer exist as stars. Their light is still en route. It sounds melancholy, but it is soothing. Light continues, memory continues, presence continues in gentler forms. Even endings are softened by the way the universe carries their glow forward. Your mind can rest in that. What is quiet is not gone. What is past can still be beautiful. Let your breathing deepen, and let distance become a comfort rather than a challenge. Fact 11. We measure stellar distances with parallax, a tiny shift in a star's apparent position as Earth moves around the sun. It is the universe's most delicate ruler, a measurement so subtle that it's like noticing the way a shadow slides across a wall as evening turns to night. Nothing here is abrupt. The cosmos favors small, precise motions, whispers of geometry that say, slow is enough. The dark above is not empty. It is stitched with paths of light and time. Fact 12. A light year is a distance, not a time, a gentle name for how far light can travel in 1 year. Behind the number is a feeling The idea that movement can be consistent and quiet, that progress can be made without strain. Light does not arrive panting. It arrives the way dew appears on grass, inevitably. Sometimes the sky shimmers and you wonder if a star is teasing you. Fact 13. Stars twinkle because of Earth's atmosphere, layers of air bending their light like ripples on a pond. What you see is not a star flickering, but a lens breathing. Our sky, with its currents and temperatures, turning starlight into a little dance. Even our imperfect view becomes a lullaby. The atmosphere rocks the cradle of light, and your eyelids grow heavier watching it. There are patterns up there, but they are human patterns, friendly and flexible. Fact 14. Constellations are stories we drew across the sky. Different cultures drew different pictures, and the stars agreed to all of them by doing nothing more than shining. The lesson is simple. The same lights can hold many meanings, and that means you are free to choose the gentlest one tonight, the meaning that makes you feel most at home. And if you let your eyes drift to the wide, milky band arcing overhead, you meet a river of softness. Fact 15. The Milky Way is our edge-on view of our own galaxy, a field of countless stars braided together by gravity. From dark places on Earth, it looks like a cloud torn open to reveal silver within, a soft, granular light that is really the glow of distances too numerous to list. To lie beneath it is to lie beneath a comforter sewn by time, stitched from light and hush. Now that these truths have arrived, let them settle. There is more to say, there always is. But the purpose of these facts is not to fill your mind like a book. It is to empty it gently, until what remains is a simple awareness that the universe is steady, that time can be kind, that motion can be unforced. Picture a field at night and a single blade of grass moving with the smallest wind. How that movement is enough to confirm that the air is there, that the world is breathing. Picture a star's light that left long ago and is only now touching your eyes. How that touch, arriving so late, feels perfectly on time for you. As you rest here, you may imagine the sky not as something above you, but as something around you. Starlight crosses all directions. It is a sphere of calm. If you listen with your skin, you can almost feel it. Soft, cool, persistent. The universe has no need to shout. It prefers murmurs, prefers the kind of reassurance that comes from repetition. Every night, the stars appear. Every night, the colors return. Every night, the Milky Way unrolls its ribbon. And in witnessing this, your body remembers how to let go. Let the understanding of parallax cradle you. Small shifts over time can reveal great distances without strain. Let the reality of stellar lifespans absolve you from rushing. There is no award for haste in a cosmos that lasts billions of years. Let the companionship of binary stars soothe you. Even lights adrift in a vast dark are bound by invisible kindness. Let twinkling remind you to forgive the air. The lens that distorts is also the blanket that keeps you. Let the Milky Way's pale arc persuade you that you belong to something that will still be breathing when your thoughts finally quiet and your jaw unclenches and your hands grow warm and still at your sides. In this widened sense of time, even your heartbeats feel less like ticks in a clock and more like waves upon a shore. They arrive, they fade. Another follows. There is no crisis in their pattern. You can rest inside the rhythm rather than trying to drive it. If a thought arrives, let it be like a passing airplane in a high, silent sky, small, not urgent, already on its way elsewhere. If a memory stirs, let it be a constellation, not a command, not a warning, just a picture, and you are free to draw a gentler picture over it if you wish. You are doing nothing. And in the company of stars, nothing is sacred work. Doing nothing allows the old light to arrive. Doing nothing allows the small shifts to measure distances. Doing nothing allows a story to be drawn across a sky that would shine either way. The universe does not require you to perform tonight. It asks only that you be here, that you keep company with quiet lanterns until your eyes decide to close of their own accord. So sink a little deeper into whatever holds you. Pillow, sofa, the idea of a meadow. Feel the weight of your body welcomed by gravity, that gentle cousin of the gravity that binds stars into families and galaxies into spirals. You are not falling, you are being held. The sky above is wide, the truths within it are soft, and the patience of starlight is already working on you, drawing you toward the next, even calmer stretch of night. Block 3, Rivers of Fire in a Quiet Sky. When your eyes wander across the night sky, the stars may appear to be simple points, steady and unchanging. Yet the truth beneath their glow is layered, vast, and strangely soothing when allowed to settle into your mind slowly, like warm water filling a still pool. Each fact is not a sharp burst of information but a lull, a soft wave washing against you. The universe whispers, and when you listen in this quiet state, the facts become less like lessons and more like gentle companions. Let us follow these rivers of fire in silence, adding to the constellation of calm we are weaving tonight. Act 16. The nearest star to Earth after the Sun is Proxima Centauri, only about 4.2 light-years away. Only in cosmic terms still means light takes more than 4 years to reach us. But the number is comforting. Among hundreds of billions, there is one small neighbor, one flicker in the dark that is closer than the rest. Thinking of this nearest light is like thinking of a distant cottage in a vast wilderness, far enough to remain mysterious, but close enough to remind you that you are not entirely alone. Fact 17. Most stars you see with the naked eye are less than 1,000 light-years away. The universe extends much farther, into billions of light-years, but the stars that touch your gaze are part of your local neighborhood, the nearby glow that has chosen to reach you. This is calming. Out of endless possibility, these are the stars that said yes to your eyes tonight. They are your circle, your visible companions, keeping vigil with you as you rest. Fact 18. Some stars are giants, thousands of times larger than our sun. Betelgeuse in Orion is one such colossus, a red supergiant so vast that if placed where the sun is, it would extend past the orbit of Jupiter. Yet this immensity is not threatening, it is patient. A giant star glows slowly, its light spread across a body so large it seems more like a horizon than a point. To imagine Betelgeuse is to imagine a campfire the size of a kingdom, one that asks nothing of you but to notice its steady glow. Fact 19. Other stars are tiny, faint, and almost hidden. Red dwarfs make up the majority of stars in the universe, and though they are smaller and cooler, they live the longest, glowing for trillions of years. These stars are the quiet ones, the keepers of eternity, like candles that never seem to burn out. To think of them is to think of constancy, of the humble presences that last when others fade. They are the whispers of the cosmos, the steady notes in an endless song. Fact 20. Stars are spheres of plasma held together by gravity, not points. Their roundness is perfect, sculpted by the pull of their own weight. Even when distance turns them into pinpricks, remember that each one is a vast, complete body, balanced against collapse by the same force that keeps your feet on the ground. Gravity is the gentle thread that ties everything together, from your breath to the stars, reminding you that rest is also a kind of balance, a surrender to being held. Now let us wander further. Imagine the stars not only as solitary lights, but as storytellers. Fact 21. Ancient cultures mapped the sky into constellations to tell stories and track time. Orion the hunter, Cassiopeia the queen, Ursa Major the great bear. All are human attempts to bring meaning to the scatter of light. These myths were not built to confuse, but to comfort, to give people a sense of place beneath the endlessness. Even now, when you trace a constellation with your eyes, you are continuing that ancient act of turning chaos into pattern, of making the night not frightening but familiar. Fact 22. Some stars pulse in brightness like beating hearts. These variable stars expand and contract, growing brighter and dimmer in cycles. To watch them is to watch a star breathe, to see the cosmos inhale and exhale. There is nothing violent in it. It is rhythmic, calming, proof that even fire can find ways to rest. If you time your breathing with their pulse, you discover how natural it feels to sync yourself with the star's quiet rhythm. Fact 23. The brightest star in the night sky is Sirius the Dog Star, glowing in the constellation Canis Major. Its name means glowing or scorching, but its presence is not harsh. It shines with a steadiness that has guided travelers for millennia, a beacon in the southern sky. To look at Sirius is to find a companion bright enough to anchor your gaze, a gentle reminder that even among countless lights, some shine more clearly, guiding your thoughts back to calm when they begin to wander. Fact 24. Not all stars are visible. Many are hidden by dust, distance, or faintness. Telescopes reveal that the universe is even more crowded with stars than your eyes can know. This hidden abundance is soothing. Even when you see only a handful, there are billions more present, unseen but existing quietly, like supportive friends standing just outside the door. The sky is never empty. It is always full, always offering more calm than you could ever need. Fact 25. The patterns of stars change slowly over time because they move. To us, they appear fixed, eternal, but in reality, they drift in their own courses, and over tens of thousands of years, constellations dissolve and reform. This slow motion is invisible on a human scale, yet it is happening even now. There is a comfort in knowing that change exists, but it is so patient, so gentle, that to the naked eye it looks like stillness. It teaches you that change does not have to rush. It can unfold quietly, like sleep overtaking you. These 10 truths gather like a constellation of their own, each one a point of calm that, when connected, draws a larger picture of rest. The stars do not teach with urgency. They teach with endurance, with slowness, with presence. To imagine them is to imagine that you too can glow steadily, breathe patiently, and rest without fear. The night sky is vast, but within it, every fact is a lantern leading you further into the kind of quiet that asks nothing of you but to close your eyes. Block 4. The gentle architecture of the heavens. The night sky has always been a quiet library, each star a page waiting to be read slowly, carefully, as though the words themselves were written in light. As you let your eyes drift upward, you begin to sense that the sky is not chaotic but carefully arranged, its order hidden within the endless calm of darkness. Each truth you uncover feels less like discovery and more like recognition, as though you already knew and simply needed the stars to remind you. And so, as the world beneath you softens and your body sinks deeper into rest, let us continue with the sleepy architecture of the heavens. Fact 26. Stars are grouped by size and brightness into classes, from blazing O-type stars to quiet red M-type dwarfs. These categories are not rules to memorize, but gentle names, like shelves in a library, helping you understand that the sky has its own quiet organization. O stars burn bright and short, while M stars live long and calm. Between them, every possible rhythm exists, a spectrum of cosmic patience. Fact 27. The Sun is a G-type main sequence star, calm and steady, midlife in its journey. This knowledge is comforting. The star that sustains your days is neither too young nor too old, neither too hot nor too cool. It rests in balance, a cosmic middle ground that allows life to thrive. To know this is to know that balance exists even on scales far larger than your own, and that balance is a form of quiet strength. Fact 28. Stars form when gravity pulls gas and dust together until pressure ignites nuclear fusion. Imagine an immense cloud slowly gathering, its particles drifting closer, the pull of gravity invisible but unstoppable. At first, nothing changes. Then, quietly within that pressure, a star is born. There is no explosion in its beginning, only a slow gathering, a silent promise. Beginnings can be patient. Fact 29. Nuclear fusion is the heartbeat of stars. Inside their cores, hydrogen becomes helium, releasing light and warmth that travels outward across space. This process is steady, unhurried, self-sustaining. It is not fire-consuming wood, but light created by the simplest elements learning to join. The lesson is soft. Even pressure can create radiance, and even the smallest particles can become lanterns. Fact 30. The light from the core of a star can take thousands, even millions of years to reach the surface. Though light itself travels swiftly, inside the dense body of a star it moves like a wanderer through a forest, bouncing endlessly before it escapes. When at last it shines, it carries with it the patience of ages. Imagine the sunlight on your face tomorrow morning as a message that began its journey long before you took your first breath. Fact 31. Stars sometimes form in clusters, born together in the same cloud of gas. These stellar siblings drift apart slowly over millions of years, yet they carry the same origin, the same birthplace in the sky. To imagine them is to imagine brothers and sisters scattering across the galaxy. Their bonds invisible but real, glowing faintly in every shared photon. Fact 32. Open clusters are loose groups of young stars, scattered across space like handfuls of glowing sand. They sparkle in the sky like jewelry, delicate and fleeting, destined to drift apart as time moves on. To look at them is to look at youth itself, a fleeting brightness that is no less beautiful for its brevity. Fact 33. Globular clusters are far older, vast spheres of hundreds of thousands of stars tightly packed together. From Earth, they appear as soft glows, round and faint, like drops of milk spilled into the night. Their stars are ancient, among the oldest in the galaxy, glowing patiently as they orbit together. To think of them is to think of companionship lasting across billions of years, a community of lights bound by gravity and memory. Fact 34. Galaxies themselves are vast cities of stars. Our Milky Way is one such city, spiraled into arms that cradle stars by the billions. To imagine a galaxy is to imagine a quiet city seen from above, its streets glowing not with lamps but with suns, each one carrying planets, each one a center of quiet stories. Fact 35. The Andromeda Galaxy, our nearest large neighbor, is on a slow collision course with the Milky Way. But this collision is nothing like violence. It is a meeting so slow it will take billions of years to occur, and when it does, stars will mostly pass peacefully by one another, the galaxies merging like clouds drifting together in the sky. The time scale is so vast that it becomes soothing. Nothing here demands urgency, and even cosmic encounters unfold with gentleness. Let these truths settle in your mind like constellations. You may picture the heavens as a library, shelves upon shelves of light, each star a book that has waited patiently for billions of years to be opened by your gaze. The architecture is not hurried. It is not loud. It is a cathedral built of patience, its ceiling infinite, its walls invisible, its music played in the faint hum of starlight that reaches you across unimaginable distances. To rest beneath it is to understand that the universe is not in a rush, and you do not need to be either. Block 5, lanterns that outlive time. The sky you see each night is not simply a stage of scattered lights, but a living chronicle of endurance, of beginnings and endings, of patience that stretches far beyond the length of human history. When you open your eyes to the stars, you are opening them to billions of years of stories that have already happened, and billions more still unfolding. And yet, in the stillness of the night, all of that becomes not overwhelming but calming, as though the vastness itself were designed to rock you towards sleep. Let us continue with our lanterns of fact, carrying you deeper into that calm. Fact 36. Some stars end their lives in gentle fades, becoming white dwarfs. These are stars that once shone like the sun, but when their fuel is gone, they do not explode in violence. They shrink quietly, glowing faintly, slowly cooling across trillions of years. To imagine them is to imagine an ember in a hearth at midnight, dim but enduring, a presence that warms by existing, not by burning fiercely. Fact 37. Other stars end with greater drama, collapsing into neutron stars. These objects are unimaginably dense, their matter crushed into a sphere only a few miles wide, yet holding more mass than the sun. But do not picture violence. Picture instead a pearl of infinite weight, a jewel hidden in the night. Even in their extremity, they are silent, invisible to the eye without special tools. Their quietness is a reminder that power can be hushed, that even intensity can exist without noise. Fact 38. Some of the most massive stars collapse into black holes. Though the name carries mystery and awe, think of them here as deep wells in the fabric of space, places where light itself comes to rest. They are not hunters or monsters, they are destinations, the final silence of stars that burned too brightly. To imagine them is to imagine the deepest sleep of all, the kind that contains everything within it. Fact 39. Stars are scattered unevenly, forming great arms in spiral galaxies. The Milky Way's arms cradle billions of stars, curving slowly like the spirals of seashells. To look at a spiral galaxy is to look at harmony in motion, a dance where each star knows its place. The shape is not chaotic, it is measured, soothing, a cosmic mandala glowing softly against the void. Fact 40. Dark patches in the Milky Way are not empty, but filled with dust. These dark clouds block the light of stars behind them, painting shadows across the bright band of the sky. Yet within those shadows, new stars are forming. The lesson is gentle. Darkness is not absence, it is the place where light is being prepared. Fact 41. Some stars spin rapidly, turning hundreds of times each second. Neutron stars, in particular, can rotate with astonishing speed, sending beams of energy into space like cosmic lighthouses. Yet from here, you do not see the frenzy. You see only silence. The distance transforms even the fastest spin into stillness. The universe teaches you that perspective changes everything. What is frantic up close becomes calm when seen from afar. Fact 42. Not all stars are visible to human eyes. Many shine in radio waves, X-rays, and infrared. Telescopes capture them, translating their invisible songs into something we can sense. This hidden choir is always singing, even when you cannot hear it. To know that the sky is full of silent music is to know that there is always more softness around you than you perceive. In 43, the oldest stars in the universe are nearly as old as the cosmos itself, more than 13 billion years. They burn faintly, their light fragile yet persistent. To think of them is to think of candles lit at the very dawn of time, still glowing patiently, still offering light to anyone who looks up. They remind you that endurance can be gentle, that longevity is its own form of calm. Fact 44. Even the sun will one day fade into a white dwarf. This truth is not fearful but serene. It will not happen for billions of years, and when it does, it will be a quiet transformation, a gentle stepping down from brilliance into rest. Stars, like people, follow a rhythm: birth, life, rest. And rest at the end of it all is not something to resist, but something inevitable, peaceful, and complete. Fact 45. When stars die, they give back their elements to the universe. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the oxygen in your breath, all were forged in stars long ago. When they ended, they did not vanish. They shared themselves, scattering their essence so that you could one day exist. To realize this is to realize that you are already part of the stars, that your body is starlight slowed down, given shape and breath. Pause here for a moment. Let these truths surround you like the glow of constellations stitched into the sky. White dwarfs glowing faintly, neutron stars humming silently, black holes resting in their quiet depth, galaxies curving into soft spirals, dust clouds hiding stars yet to be born, old stars keeping vigil, young stars preparing to ignite. You, lying beneath them all, are not separate but included, a part of the rhythm, a note in the choir, a lantern made of the same ancient fire. And before we drift further, I want to gently remind you that if this journey through sleepy astronomy has brought you peace, you can help keep this sanctuary of calm alive. Please like this video, share it with someone who longs for rest, and subscribe to the channel so that together we can continue weaving stories that soothe the mind and slow the breath. And if you feel moved, leave a comment below. Perhaps tell me which star fact has cradled you the most tonight. Your presence here is the reason this constellation of calm continues to shine. Now return to the sky. Let the stars remain your quiet companions, each one a lantern that outlives time. Block 6, the palette of starlight. If you let your eyes adjust to the night, you will notice that not all stars look the same. Some appear bluish, some white, others golden or red, their colors faint but undeniable. These colors are more than appearances. They are truths whispered in wavelengths, hints about temperature, age, and energy. To lie beneath them is to lie beneath a painting stretched across eternity, a canvas so large no brush could ever complete it. And yet, every night, the painting is renewed, quiet and patient, waiting only for you to notice. Fact 46. The color of a star is determined by its surface temperature. Blue stars are the hottest, reaching tens of thousands of degrees, while red stars are cooler, glowing softly at lower temperatures. The sky, then, is not a uniform sheet of white dots, but a spectrum, a rainbow slowed down into eternity. Fact 47. Our sun, yellow-white in color, is neither the hottest nor the coolest but rests in balance. It is steady, temperate, and reassuring, radiating not extremes but moderation. This balance, so rare in many places, has allowed life to flourish. To think of it is to think of a hearth fire, not scorching but sustaining, glowing with a warmth that asks you only to rest beside it. Fact 48. Stars can appear red not only because of their temperature, but because their light passes through dust. This is called interstellar reddening, a soft filter placed by the universe itself, tinting the light like sunset. Dust does not extinguish. It softens just as time softens memory, leaving behind something warmer, easier to hold. Fact 49. Some stars vary in brightness, pulsating as they expand and contract. Cepheid variables are one such type, their light rising and falling in steady rhythms. Astronomers use them to measure distance, but you can use them to measure calm, syncing your breath with their patient cycles. Inhale with their glow, exhale with their dimming. Fact 50. The human eye sees stars better out of the corner of vision than straight ahead. This is because peripheral vision is more sensitive to faint light. It means the universe is designed to be glimpsed not through direct effort, but through softness, through relaxed gazes. To see more stars, you must ease your eyes, loosen your focus. A perfect metaphor for rest. Fact 51. Though stars seem to twinkle, planets do not, at least not in the same way. Their steadier light comes from their closeness to Earth, making their beams less disturbed by the atmosphere. To notice a star twinkling beside a planet's steadiness is to notice a lullaby with two instruments. One trembles like a harp string, the other hums like a low drum. Both together complete the song. Fact 52. Some stars spin so fast that they bulge at the equator. Their roundness is imperfect, stretched by their own motion. Yet from Earth they still look serene, their flaws invisible, their motion softened by distance. Even imperfection glows quietly when viewed with patience. Fact 53. Spectroscopy allows us to see what stars are made of. By spreading their light into spectra, astronomers discover lines that reveal elements: hydrogen, helium, calcium, sodium. The stars sing in colors, and their songs are written into these spectral fingerprints. You need not study them. It is enough to know that the sky is full of music written in light. Fact 54. Some stars shine more brightly than whole galaxies, if only for a short time. Supernovae burst into brilliance, visible across unimaginable distances. But brightness does not mean permanence. Even the greatest flares fade, returning to quiet. There is peace in this reminder. Everything that blazes eventually rests. Fact 55. The faintest stars too matter. Red dwarfs, brown dwarfs, and other small bodies add to the sky's quiet harmony. They may never shine as bright as Sirius or explode as dramatically as Betelgeuse, but their persistence is their beauty. They glow not to be noticed, but simply because they cannot help but glow. These 10 truths gather like colors on a palette: blue, white, gold, red, a spread of softness painted across the heavens. You are not asked to memorize them, only to let them wash over you like strokes of paint. Every color is a note in a song, every star a reminder that the universe is not uniform but varied, and in that variety lies beauty. As your eyes close, imagine the sky as an endless mural above your bed, painted not by hands but by time. Each brushstroke a star that has been glowing for longer than memory. Block 7. The Wandering Lives of Stars. When you look up at the sky, the stars appear motionless, each one pinned to its place as though the heavens were a tapestry that has never changed. But that stillness is an illusion, a gift given to human eyes so that the night sky might serve as a steady companion. In truth, stars live long, wandering lives. They are born, they grow, they change, and they eventually fade, and each of these stages unfolds so patiently that to us, they feel like eternity. Knowing this does not disturb the calm of the night. It deepens it. It invites you to rest within the rhythm of the cosmos, where even fire has time to breathe slowly. Fact 56. Stars are born in nebulae, vast clouds of gas and dust where gravity gathers material until light awakens. Imagine a cradle so large it spans light years, a nursery veiled in shadow where silence reigns. Within these clouds, hydrogen atoms drift closer, drawn gently together until pressure builds in the unseen heart of the cloud. Nothing seems to happen at first. The nebula waits, breathes, holds. Then, without fanfare, fusion begins, and a star is born. The light is not shouted into existence, but coaxed. It is the soft ignition of a lantern hidden in mist, its glow spreading across the darkness like a secret whispered into the universe. Fact 57. A star spends most of its life in the main sequence stage, quietly fusing hydrogen into helium. This stage can last billions of years, far longer than the span of all human history. During this time, the star is steady, balanced, reliable. Our sun is in this stage now, halfway through its long life. glowing like a hearth that never wavers, never fails. To rest beneath such constancy is soothing. It tells you that not all things burn out quickly. Some lights are patient, content to glow at the same pace for ages. In a world where so much feels rushed, the stars remind you that stability is not only possible but natural. Fact 58. When a star like the Sun runs out of hydrogen, it swells into a red giant. The change is gradual, a slow expansion over millions of years as the star grows cooler and its light softens into red. Imagine the Sun's face broadening, its edges stretching outward until they touch planets that now circle safely far away. The star does not roar in this stage, it sighs. It becomes larger, gentler in color, glowing as though wrapped in a twilight that never ends. This image does not carry fear but peace. Even endings unfold slowly, gently, like the slow fading of sunset into dusk. Fact 59. Small and medium stars end their lives by releasing their outer layers into space, forming planetary nebulae. These shells of glowing gas expand outward like flowers blooming in the dark, delicate and temporary. They linger for only a short while on cosmic scales, but their beauty is unmatched. Shimmering rings of color, drifting blossoms painted by starlight. To imagine them is to imagine that endings can be luminous, that even farewells can fill the night with soft radiance. Within the blossom, the core remains, a white dwarf that will quietly glow for trillions of years, an ember left behind by the fire. Fact 60. Massive stars end more dramatically, collapsing into neutron stars or black holes. Yet even here, the image is not one of violence but of surrender. A neutron star is a pearl of infinite weight, glowing faintly as it spins. A black hole is a well of perfect silence where even light comes to rest. Both are reminders that even the brightest flames find peace. In their quiet transformations, they teach us that power need not be loud, and that the universe always circles back to calm. These 5 truths do not shout their importance. They drift gently into your thoughts, each one like a star emerging in the twilight, softening the sky with light. Stars are not eternal, but their lives are long, and their journeys are slow. They remind you that change can unfold with patience, that endings can bloom with beauty, that rest awaits even the mightiest. As you breathe deeply beneath their glow, you feel yourself included in this rhythm. Born gently, living steadily, fading softly, and always returning to rest. Block 8. Silent companions in the dark. When you gaze at the night sky, it is easy to believe that the stars are alone, solitary fires scattered across an empty sea. But solitude is rarely the full truth. Around those stars, unseen by naked eyes, are worlds, companions, fragments, and rivers of motion that tell stories as quiet as breath. Much of this remains hidden, planets circling in darkness, dust weaving invisible veils, stars drifting along ancient orbits that stretch across the galaxy. The sky you see is only the surface. Beneath it lies an endless depth of company. To imagine these companions is to imagine that nothing in the universe truly wanders without connection. Fact 61. Our sun, like all stars, is moving through the Milky Way, carrying Earth with it. Though it feels still, the sun is gliding around the galaxy at immense speeds, completing one orbit roughly every 225 million years. Imagine being aboard a vessel so vast you never feel its motion, a ship sailing across the calmest sea. That is the sun's journey, steady and patient, with you as one of its passengers, carried quietly along through the spiral arms of the galaxy. Fact 62. Some stars travel alone at great speed, called runaway stars. These wanderers are flung from their clusters by gravitational encounters, set adrift across space. Yet even in their solitude, they move without panic. Their journeys last millions of years, their trails invisible but real. Picture a single lantern drifting far from the campfire, its glow steady even as it moves into the vastness. These stars are proof that solitude can also be peaceful. Fact 63. Galaxies sometimes exchange stars, leaving streams of light stretched across the sky. When galaxies interact, they pull stars from one another, creating rivers that curve and ripple like silk in the wind. These stellar streams are faint but graceful, quiet remnants of vast encounters. To imagine them is to imagine threads of light woven into the night, ribbons that whisper of past journeys but shine softly in the present. Fact 64. Many stars share their lives with planets, unseen companions orbiting silently in the dark. These exoplanets are too faint to see with your eyes, but telescopes reveal them, circling their stars in steady rhythms. Some are gas giants larger than Jupiter. Others are small and rocky, like Earth. They remain hidden, yet their existence changes how we see the night, not as a field of isolated fires, but as a gallery of homes, each with its own orbiting family. Fact 65. Some stars orbit one another so closely that they exchange material, forming contact binaries. Their atmospheres brush, their edges mingle, and they glow as one even as they remain two. To think of them is to think of partnership, not collision, not loss, but sharing. They are lights that have found closeness without destruction, proof that intimacy can last across the ages. These 5 truths soften the image of stars as lonely lanterns. They remind you that most journeys carry companions, visible or hidden. The sun carries you through the galaxy. Runaway stars drift, but without fear. Stellar streams weave threads across the heavens. Planets orbit in silence, unseen but faithful. Paired stars lean into one another, glowing more brightly together than apart. As you let these images settle into your thoughts, you begin to see the night not as emptiness but as fullness, a presence so wide and gentle that it can hold you too in its embrace. Block 9. The guiding lights of humanity. Since the first time human beings tilted their heads back beneath the velvet canopy of night, stars have been more than distant suns. They have been companions, teachers, guides. Long before there were clocks or compasses, long before books carried knowledge from one generation to another, the stars themselves were the books, the maps, the silent voices of direction. Their stillness gave order, their brightness gave comfort, their patterns gave meaning. To think of stars in this way is to rest in the knowledge that the night has always held us, has always offered guidance, has always been willing to whisper, "You are not lost." Fact 66. Stars have been used for navigation since ancient times. Sailors, shepherds, and wanderers looked upward to know their path. The North Star, Polaris, stands almost fixed in the northern sky, a steady companion that told travelers where north lay. Imagine yourself on a quiet ship, the sea calm and endless, the night wide above you. Without maps or machines, you look at Polaris, unwavering, constant. In its stillness, you find not just direction but reassurance. There is always a way home written in light. Fact 67. Different cultures around the world created unique constellations and myths. The same stars seen from Mesopotamia were drawn into stories of hunters, bulls, and lions. In Greece, they became gods and heroes. In China, they became dragons, rivers, and palaces. The stars accepted all names, all stories, without resistance. This universality is calming. The same sky belongs to all people, across time and place, shaping itself into whatever brings comfort. Fact 68. Farmers once relied on stars to mark the seasons. The rising of certain constellations told when to plant seeds, when to harvest crops, when to rest. Before calendars, Before clocks, the sky itself was a calendar, moving slowly but reliably across the year. To imagine this is to imagine time flowing not in hours, but in constellations, a rhythm so slow it feels like breathing. The stars told humanity when to begin, when to work, when to pause, when to wait. Their patience became humanity's patience. Fact 69. Stars were also omens in the eyes of many cultures. A new star appearing, what we now know as a supernova, was taken as a sign, a message, a turning of fate. To ancient eyes, the night was a canvas where the divine wrote directly. Today, we may know the science behind those lights, but the awe remains. To see a sudden glow where once there was only darkness is to feel that the universe is speaking, softly, in light. Fact 70. Even now, astronauts and space explorers use the stars to orient themselves. Modern spacecraft carry instruments, yet they still rely on the fixed patterns of distant stars as reference points. Imagine drifting in a capsule far above Earth, silence pressing all around. Outside your window are the same constellations shepherds once saw, the same patterns sailors once trusted. Across centuries, across oceans, across galaxies of change, the stars remain. They are the compass that never fails. These truths remind you that stars are not distant strangers but lifelong companions of humanity. They guided us across seas, across deserts, across centuries. They gave meaning to our nights, order to our years, direction to our wandering. And even now, in a world of machines and maps, their light still speaks, still guides, still calms. As you close your eyes, imagine Polaris glowing steadily in the north, Orion striding across winter skies, the Milky Way curving above like a path. You are never lost beneath these lights. They are the map, the guide, the silent guardians of sleep. Block 10. Stories written in the stars. As you lie beneath the sky, it is not only the light of stars that reaches you, but the stories they carry. For as long as humanity has looked up, we have read the heavens like a book. Each point of light became a symbol, each constellation a sentence, each season of the night sky another chapter in the long story of life on Earth. These stories are not written in ink, but in starlight, not bound by pages, but by time itself. To rest beneath them is to feel part of an ancient reading circle, one that spans generations, cultures, and even civilizations that are now only memories. The stars remain, continuing to whisper the same stories to you tonight. Fact 71. The constellation. Orion is among the most recognized patterns in the sky. His belt of 3 stars, aligned neatly, is visible across much of the world. To some, Orion was a hunter, to others, a warrior, to others still, a shepherd of the heavens. Whatever the story, his stars have always given shape to the night. Imagine them above you, steady and sharp, guiding your eyes like stepping stones across a dark river. Fact 72. The Southern Cross Crux is a vital constellation in the southern hemisphere. For navigators below the equator, its stars pointed the way south, steady as Polaris in the north. To lie beneath Crux is to lie beneath a compass drawn in starlight, its 4 points glowing with authority yet without urgency. It is a reminder that the universe always gives direction, if only you are still enough to see it. Fact 73. The Pleiades, also called the Seven Sisters, is a small cluster of stars that has inspired myths around the world. In Japan, they are Subaru. In Greece, they are daughters of Atlas. In Native American traditions, they are companions watching from above. They are delicate, faint, yet deeply beloved, a soft handful of jewels scattered into the night. To look at them is to feel connected, for no matter where you are on Earth, someone else is looking at the same sisters. Fact 74. Ancient monuments were often aligned with stars. The pyramids of Egypt are thought to echo the pattern of Orion's belt. Stone circles in Europe align with solstices and rising constellations. These monuments are reminders that even stone and earth listen to the sky, that human hands shape temples as reflections of the heavens. To imagine this is to imagine a bond between earth and sky, a quiet handshake written across millennia. Fact 75. In many traditions, new stars were taken as omens of great change. A bright guest star, what we now know as a supernova, could appear suddenly, blazing for weeks before fading. To ancient eyes, this was divine writing, a new sentence in the book of fate. Today we see the science, but the wonder remains. To look up and see a light that was not there before is to feel that the universe itself is alive, breathing, capable of surprise. Now, let your breath slow and deepen. Imagine Orion standing tall, the Southern Cross pointing to horizons, the Pleiades whispering their secrets, monuments of stone gazing upward, guest stars blazing and fading. The stories are endless, and they are yours too. You are not outside the story, but inside it, one of countless readers who have found guidance, meaning, and rest in the stars. And before we drift onward, I want to gently invite you to help keep this circle of starlit calm alive. If these stories and facts have brought you peace, consider liking this video, sharing it with someone who longs for rest, and subscribing to this channel. Each time you do, you help weave another thread in this constellation of calm, ensuring that these journeys continue. And if you feel moved, leave a comment below. Perhaps share which constellation or story has stayed with you the most. Your voice becomes part of this quiet night sky we are building together. Now, sink back into the stillness. The stories are written above you, patient and glowing, waiting to be read in your dreams. Block 11, the silent songs of starlight. The sky is quiet to your ears, a vast silence stretching across the night. Yet within that silence, the stars are singing. They do not sing in notes you can hear, but in colors, in vibrations, in patterns hidden within their light. Scientists have learned to listen with instruments, to spread starlight into its hidden codes, to discover voices where you thought there was only silence. To imagine this is to imagine the night sky not as mute, but as a choir, humming endlessly above you. The sound so deep and soft that it becomes indistinguishable from calm itself. Fact 76. Stars reveal their composition through spectroscopy. When their light is separated into a rainbow, thin dark lines appear, absorption lines where atoms have taken in certain wavelengths. Each element leaves its fingerprint in these lines: hydrogen, helium, calcium, sodium. To a scientist, the sky becomes a score, each line a note. To you, it can be thought of as the quiet hum of the universe, written not in ink, but in light. Fact 77. Stars also reveal their motion through their spectra. When a star moves toward us, its light shifts slightly to the blue. When it moves away, it shifts toward the red. This red shift and blue shift is the universe's way of whispering its movements, so subtle you cannot see them with your eye, but there nonetheless. The stars are not fixed. They drift, they dance, and their light carries the record of every step. Fact 78. Some stars pulse in brightness, their rhythms regular like heartbeats. Cepheid variables expand and contract, glowing brighter and dimmer in cycles that repeat with astonishing precision. These cycles have been used to measure distances across galaxies, but you may imagine them differently, as slow, steady breathing in the sky, an inhale of light, an exhale of darkness. To sync your breath with such a rhythm is to fall into alignment with the stars themselves. Fact 79. Stars also oscillate internally, producing vibrations that ripple through their bodies. Scientists call this astroseismology, the study of starquakes. These vibrations shift the light, revealing information about a star's core. To imagine this is to imagine that stars, like instruments, are full of music, their surfaces trembling gently, their interiors resonating in tones too deep for human hearing. The stars hum, and the universe listens. Fact 80. Even faint stars can be studied through their hidden songs. Though your eye may miss them, instruments capture their whispers, translating silence into knowledge. This truth is soothing. Even the quietest presences still speak. Even the faintest lights still matter. To rest beneath this understanding is to know that nothing is wasted. Nothing is unseen. Every glow, no matter how small, contributes to the music of the night. These 5 truths soften the sky even further. You begin to feel as though you are lying beneath an orchestra, not loud and insistent, but endlessly patient. Every instrument playing in wavelengths of light and shadow. Hydrogen plays its note, helium its tone, sodium its faint chord. Some stars hum with quakes, some breathe with pulses, some drift with shifts in color. Together they weave a music so vast it feels like silence. But in that silence your heart slows, your body loosens, and you realize that the stars are not only glowing for your eyes, but singing for your rest. Block 12, the eternal cycle of starlight. When you look at the night sky, you're not only seeing light in motion, you are witnessing an endless cycle of birth, life, and return. Stars, like living things, are never wasted. Their beginnings rise out of darkness, their middles glow in patience, and their endings scatter beauty back into the cosmos. This rhythm is older than memory, older than mountains and oceans, older even than the earth itself. To rest beneath the stars is to rest beneath a story that never ends, a story written in fire, but told in silence. Fact 81. Some of the oldest stars still shine today, nearly as old as the universe itself. These ancient lights have glowed for more than 13 billion years. Imagine a candle lit at the dawn of creation, still flickering tonight, its flame steady despite the passage of unimaginable ages. To know that such endurance exists is calming. The universe holds witnesses who have watched over every moment, and they are still watching over you tonight. Fact 82. The first stars to exist were giants made only of hydrogen and helium, called population 3 stars. They lived briefly and ended violently, but in their ending, they created heavier elements, carbon, oxygen, iron, the ingredients of planets, of oceans, of your own body. You carry in your breath and your blood the legacy of stars that no eye ever saw, for they died long before Earth was born. Their presence lingers in you, quiet and unnoticed, yet essential. Fact 83. Every new generation of stars contains material from older stars. The dust left behind by ancient deaths becomes the raw material for new births. This is the recycling of the cosmos, the quiet assurance that nothing is ever lost. The gas in nebulae holds the ashes of long-faded stars, and from those ashes new lanterns are lit. You too are part of this cycle, a being of starlight, born from endings, glowing now in your own season. Fact 84. Even the planets orbiting stars are born from this recycled material. The same dust and gas that builds stars also gathers into worlds, moons, and smaller companions. To imagine this is to imagine that every pebble, every grain of sand, every drop of water is starlight slowed into form. The universe does not discard, it reshapes. Your entire world is evidence of this patience. Fact 85. The cycle will continue long after we are gone. New stars will rise, old ones will fade, galaxies will merge, and still the pattern of birth and renewal will unfold. This endlessness does not bring fear but calm, for it means that life, in one form or another, is always being prepared. The universe is not rushing toward an end, but breathing in cycles, each exhale scattering material, each inhale gathering it again into light. These 5 truths weave together like threads in a tapestry, creating a picture of renewal that stretches across billions of years. Stars are not merely burning fuel. They are keepers of continuity, givers of future possibilities. To rest beneath them is to rest beneath a promise. Nothing is lost. Everything is transformed. And even endings are only beginnings written in another language. Tonight, as your breath slows and your eyelids soften, you are part of this cycle too. A momentary glow in the eternal starlight, destined not for disappearance, but for transformation. Block 13, the architecture of the cosmos. If the night sky seems vast when you look at it with bare eyes, imagine then what it is when you unfold its layers. Stars grouped into clusters, clusters into arms, arms into galaxies, galaxies into webs that span the universe. What appears as scattered sparks are in fact building blocks, arranged with a patience and precision that defies all sense of time. The architecture of the cosmos is not rigid but flowing, like rivers of light bending and curving through endless darkness. To rest beneath this realization is to understand that nothing in the universe is alone. Every light belongs to a larger structure, and every breath you take is part of that structure too. Fact 86. Stars rarely exist entirely alone. Most are members of galaxies, immense collections of billions of stars bound by gravity. The Milky Way itself is a spiral galaxy, holding our sun among its hundreds of billions of neighbors. To imagine this is to imagine a city of light, where each household is a star and each street a spiral arm curving gracefully into the distance. The city does not sleep, yet its glow is quiet, eternal, and patient. Fact 87. Galaxies are not scattered randomly but form groups and clusters. Like families, galaxies gather, circling one another in slow dances that last billions of years. The Milky Way is part of the local group, which includes Andromeda and many smaller companions. To think of this is to think of neighborhoods in the sky, clusters of light bound together in silent companionship. Even galaxies are not solitary. Even the grandest structures seek company. Fact 88. Galaxies themselves are part of an even larger structure called the cosmic web. This web stretches across the universe, threads of galaxies linked like a lattice of light. In between are vast voids, empty and dark, but the filaments that connect galaxies create a network so wide it resembles a living organism. Imagine a spider's web glistening with dew at dawn, each droplet a galaxy, each strand a river of starlight. That is the architecture of the cosmos, vast but delicate, strong yet fragile, endless yet intricate. Fact 89. Star clusters exist within galaxies, groups of stars born together from the same cloud. Open clusters with their youthful, scattered stars, and globular clusters, with their ancient, densely packed companions, are like gardens inside the galactic city. To see them is to see gathering places, constellations within constellations, where stars live not as individuals, but as families. These clusters glow like lanterns within lanterns, intimate gatherings inside the cathedral of galaxies. 90. The Milky Way itself is a barred spiral galaxy, its central bar of stars stretching across the core. From Earth, we see only a band of light, but from afar, the galaxy would look like a graceful pinwheel, its arms sweeping outward. To imagine it is to imagine a slow turn, a vast spiral unwinding across time. Our sun, small and steady, circles within one of those arms, a passenger in the spiral dance. This thought is comforting. You are not drifting aimlessly, but moving in harmony with billions of companions in a pattern as old as time. These truths soften the vastness of the night, turning immensity into intimacy. The stars above you are not scattered randomly but woven into patterns of unimaginable scale. Yet every pattern is gentle, every motion unhurried. Galaxies drift together, clusters gather, webs stretch silently across the cosmos, and all of it holds you too within its design. To know this is to rest in a truth larger than yourself but not threatening. The architecture of the universe is strong enough to hold you, soft enough to cradle you, and vast enough to remind you that even in endlessness, you belong. Block 14, The Strange and Silent Wonders. Not all stars are steady lanterns glowing with quiet patience. Some are unusual, shaped by extremes of gravity and magnetism, their lives compressed into forms that feel mysterious, even otherworldly. And yet, even these rarities do not disturb the night's calm. To imagine them is not to feel fear but awe, a kind of reverent stillness, as though you are standing in a cathedral built not of stone but of starlight, listening to voices so deep and soft that they settle into your bones rather than your ears. These wonders remind you that even the strangest lives in the cosmos follow rhythms, and all rhythms can become lullabies. Fact 91. Pulsars are neutron stars that spin rapidly, sending beams of energy into space. As they rotate, these beams sweep across the universe like the light of a lighthouse, flashing rhythmically. Some pulse hundreds of times per second, their precision rivaling the most accurate clocks. Yet from Earth you do not hear the urgency. You sense only rhythm, a cosmic heartbeat, steady and reliable. It is not chaos, but cadence, and if you listen closely, you may find your own breathing aligning with their pulses. Fact 92. Magnetars are neutron stars with magnetic fields billions of times stronger than Earth's. Their strength is unimaginable, but their presence is quiet. They rarely reveal themselves except through occasional flares, brief reminders of their hidden power. To think of them is to think of still mountains, silent and unmoving, yet carrying immense strength within. They embody the paradox of power and calm, intensity held in stillness, potential wrapped in silence. Fact 93. Some stars become hypergiants, so enormous that they defy ordinary categories. These rare giants swell to sizes beyond imagination, glowing with colors that seem almost unreal. Golden hues, deep reds, silvery whites. Their immensity is not frightening but humbling, like watching the horizon itself begin to glow. They remind you that grandeur can also be gentle, that enormity can glow with softness. Fact 94. There are stars so faint they are nearly invisible, called brown dwarfs. These are sometimes called failed stars, for they did not gather enough mass to ignite full fusion. Yet they still glow faintly, radiating warmth in the infrared, unseen but present. To think of them is to think of the overlooked lights of the world, quiet presences that never demand attention, yet still contribute to the calm tapestry of existence. Their faint glow is a lullaby for those who feel unnoticed, a reminder that even faint light matters. Fact 95. Some stars wander the galaxy unbound, called rogue stars. They do not belong to any single system, drifting alone through interstellar space. And yet, their journeys are not lonely. They glow with the same calm as any star, carrying their own light wherever they go. To imagine them is to imagine yourself as a traveler at night, lantern in hand, unhurried, unafraid, simply moving forward. Even in solitude, there is peace. These 5 truths, though about the strangest stars, are not unsettling but deeply calming. Pulsars whisper in steady rhythm. Magnetars hold their power in silence. Hypergiants glow like horizons. Brown dwarfs hum faintly, overlooked but enduring. Rogue stars drift peacefully across the cosmos. Together, they remind you that even the rarest, most unusual lives in the universe follow patterns of calm, contributing to the vast harmony of the night. And as you listen, you realize, strangeness is not chaos. It is simply another form of the same quiet music, playing endlessly above you. Block 15, the legacy of the stars. By now, the night above you feels less like a ceiling and more like a living memory. An ancient presence that has been here long before you and will remain long after. Every star, whether faint or bright, near or distant, steady or strange, leaves behind a legacy. That legacy is written into the earth beneath your feet, the breath in your lungs, the beating of your heart. The stars are not separate from you. They are your ancestors, your kin, your quiet companions across time. To rest in this thought is to rest in belonging, not only to Earth, but to the cosmos itself. Fact 96. The very atoms of your body were forged in stars. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the oxygen in your lungs, all were created in stellar furnaces and scattered when stars died. You are not simply under the stars, you are made of them. To know this is to feel a deep calm. You already belong to the universe, already carry its light within you. Fact 97. The sun's energy sustains every form of life on Earth. Plants turn sunlight into nourishment, animals feed on plants, and we feed on both. Every heartbeat you feel is indirectly powered by the star at the center of our system. Imagine that. Your pulse is a rhythm set in motion by starlight. The connection is not distant but intimate, as though the sun has been holding you gently all along. Fact 98. Even Earth's climate and seasons are shaped by the stars. The tilt of the planet, its orbit around the sun, the slow precession of its axis, all of these movements orchestrate the balance of warmth and cold, growth and rest. Stars do not only decorate the night, they write the patterns of your days. Their influence is everywhere, subtle but steady, like a hand guiding gently rather than pulling. Fact 99. Throughout history, stars have inspired art, poetry, and wonder. Painters traced their glow into canvases, poets turned them into metaphors, storytellers wove them into myths. Even now, you may find yourself writing your own meanings upon them, using their silence as a backdrop for your thoughts. The stars are patient canvases, accepting all stories without protest. To gaze at them is to feel invited to imagine, to create, to dream. Fact 100. The stars connect you to every generation that has ever lived. Every ancestor, every traveler, every thinker, every dreamer who has looked up has seen the same constellations. The stars are a shared inheritance, unchanged companions across centuries. To know this is to know you are not alone, not in space, not in time. You are part of a continuum of gazes lifted skyward, part of the great quiet chorus of humanity looking, wondering, and resting beneath the same light. These truths form a circle around you, like a constellation closing into completion. The stars are not only objects far away, but part of you, part of Earth, part of every breath and every story. They remind you that your existence is not isolated, but interwoven with all that is above and all that has been before. As you let these thoughts rest gently in your mind, you feel yourself softening further, your body sinking into the same calm patience that the stars have always known. Tonight, you are not merely looking at the stars, you are remembering that you are one. Block 16, the final truth of starlight. The journey through the stars has carried us far, across nebulae and galaxies, through stories and sciences, across the rhythms of birth and endings. We have followed the light of ancient suns, listened to the hidden songs of starlight, wandered with rogue stars, and found our place within the cosmic web. Now, as you rest in the quiet that these truths have brought, we arrive at the last step of our count, the final whisper in this constellation of calm. It does not come as a shout or a climax, but as a gentle exhale, the closing of a book, the soft turning of the last page. Fact 101. Every star you see, and even those you cannot, is a reminder that you are part of the universe itself. Their light is not distant but intimate, for it is the same light that runs in your blood, the same energy that warms your skin, the same atoms that make up your body. To gaze at them is to gaze at your own reflection in eternity. You are not outside the universe, looking in. You are the universe, looking at itself, glowing quietly in human form. This truth is the final fact. You belong, you always have, always. Sit with that knowledge. Let it flow into your breath, into your heartbeat, into the space around you. Imagine the stars not as points far away, but as lanterns placed along a path, guiding you gently into rest. They have burned for billions of years, not to demand attention, but simply to glow patiently until you were ready to notice. Tonight, you have noticed. Tonight, you have remembered. The legacy of 101 Sleepy Facts is not a list to memorize, but a lullaby to carry with you. Every fact was a step down a long staircase, leading you here to this stillness. The night is quiet, the stars are steady, and you are held in their endless patience. As your eyes grow heavier, as your breath slows further, let yourself drift into the rhythm of starlight. Not hurried, not forced, but inevitable. Like night following day, like stars following their ancient paths across the sky. You have reached the end of the count, but not the end of the calm, for the calm continues just as the stars do, long after you close your eyes. Block 17, after the count only silence. The final fact has been spoken, the circle has been closed, and yet the night sky remains vast and unbroken, spreading endlessly beyond your gaze. Lists may end, but the stars do not count themselves. They do not divide their truths into numbers or boundaries. They simply shine, as they always have, as they always will. And as you lie beneath their glow, you begin to sense that the journey was never about arriving at an end, but about sinking into rhythm, into presence, into the kind of silence that feels more like music than absence. Imagine the sky now as a great book, every star a word, every constellation a sentence, every galaxy a paragraph written across time. You have read a handful of its pages tonight, gently turning them one by one as you drifted deeper into calm. But the book itself is endless, and you are free to close it now, to let its stories remain unread, to trust that they will be there tomorrow, and the night after, and every night that follows. The knowledge is comforting. Nothing in the sky is lost when you rest. It waits, patient, eternal. You feel your breath deepen as you imagine the stars above no longer as facts but as lanterns. Each one holds a flame that has burned for ages, but now their flames are not there to be studied, only to be felt. The cool night air mixes with their distant warmth, and together they weave a blanket that settles gently upon you. The weight is not heavy, it is supportive, a reminder that you are held, as gently as the stars are held in the fabric of the cosmos. Thoughts still arrive in your mind, but they are quieter now, like footsteps muffled by snow. Each one passes without urgency, fading as quickly as it arrives. In their place comes a new stillness, not empty, but full of the hum of galaxies, the whisper of light, the calm of an infinite sky. You are no longer a thinker, a counter, a seeker of facts. You are simply a presence resting beneath other presences, your body becoming as calm as the stars themselves. As the list has ended, so too does your need for effort. The stars do not demand that you hold them all in memory. They do not require that you understand their lifespans, their temperatures, their rhythms. They ask only that you exist beneath them, that you allow their patience to seep into you. In this way, the facts have done their work. They have slowed your breath, quieted your mind, and led you here, to this moment of stillness. Now imagine the stars above not as far away, but as close. Their light settling into your chest, into your heartbeat. Imagine each inhalation as a gathering of starlight, each exhalation as a release of weight. Slowly, the boundary between you and the sky dissolves. You are no longer beneath the stars. You are among them, floating gently in their sea of light. No urgency, no direction, only calm drifting. The night grows quieter still. The sounds around you fade, the thoughts within you dissolve, and what remains is presence. After the count, there is no need for words, no need for knowledge. After the count, there is only silence, and within that silence, there is peace. Block 18 drifting among the stars. Now the count is long behind you. The facts settled into silence, and what remains is not knowledge but sensation. Imagine yourself no longer lying on Earth, but slowly lifting, as though gravity has loosened its grip, as though the universe has decided to cradle you in its arms of light. Your body does not move quickly. It floats, gliding upward with the gentleness of a leaf resting on water. The stars above are no longer distant. They are around you, beside you, beneath you. You are no longer watching them, you are among them. Each star you drift past glows softly, not demanding attention, not competing with the next, but simply being. Their light brushes against you like a hand across fabric, warm yet delicate, present yet unintrusive. You realize that this sea of stars has no current, no tide, no rush. It is the stillest ocean imaginable, and you are a traveler suspended in its calm. You need not row, you need not steer. The stars themselves are enough. As you float deeper, you begin to sense time dissolving. Minutes and hours slip away like sand falling through open fingers. The stars have lived for billions of years, and in their company, your own sense of time becomes irrelevant. You are not late. You are not early. You are not counting. You are simply here, breathing in rhythm with the quiet pulses of ancient suns. The thought is soothing. In the universe's scale, there is no need to hurry. Even eternity is patient. You pass by what feels like rivers of light, clusters of stars braided together, glowing like jeweled threads woven through a black tapestry. Some glow blue, others golden, others faint red, their colors mixing into a palette more calming than any painting could capture. You imagine that each cluster is a sanctuary, a gathering place where stars keep each other company, whispering across the void in voices too deep to hear. You are not intruding. You are welcomed. Deeper still, you sense silence growing denser, not empty but full, filled with the hum of everything existing quietly together. The silence wraps around you like a blanket, heavier than air, lighter than water, soft as sleep itself. With each passing breath, the silence thickens, and within it, your body loosens further, until your edges blur and you can no longer tell where you end and where the universe begins. You imagine yourself as one more star in this sea, glowing faintly, not brighter than others, not dimmer, simply part of the pattern. The same way hydrogen atoms gather to make suns, your breaths gather to make calm. The same way galaxies spiral slowly into shapes, your thoughts spiral into stillness. You are not separate. You are not outside. You are of the same material, the same silence, the same patience. The deeper you drift, the more you realize that this journey has no destination. The stars do not lead you anywhere. They do not carry you from one place to another. Their gift is not movement, but rest. You are not going through the stars. You are dissolving into them. The longer you stay, the less you feel the need to define yourself as separate. You are not a traveler. You are the sea itself. Now picture yourself resting inside a single beam of starlight. It stretches endlessly in both directions, a ribbon across eternity. You lie upon it as one lies upon a bed, soft and supportive. The beam does not move quickly, but neither does it stop. It simply continues, patient and infinite. On this ribbon of light, you are weightless, timeless, safe. The thought of returning to Earth feels far away now, like a dream fading into another dream. Your eyelids are heavy, your body fully surrendered, but your awareness floats still, held by the stars. You are not asked to think, not asked to remember, not asked to do anything, only to rest. The stars have guided you here, into their silence, into their patience, into their calm. And here, in this drifting, you discover what sleep truly is. Becoming part of the endless night sky, glowing faintly in the company of billions, dissolving into silence that is full, not empty. Block 19. When the universe sleeps, the stars have carried you far, through facts and stories, through rhythms and silences, and now they begin to draw you into their deepest gift, stillness. Not the stillness of absence, but the stillness of presence so complete that it feels as though everything is breathing with you, slowing with you, resting with you. Imagine the sky itself leaning down, closing its eyes, and letting its vast expanse sink into quiet slumber. You are not apart from this rest. You are within it, woven into the same silence that cradles galaxies. Picture the galaxies around you, spirals and ellipses, great wheels of light turning so slowly they seem frozen. In this moment, they are not moving, not expanding, not colliding. They are simply being. Their arms, rich with billions of stars, fold inward like blankets drawn closer. Their centers, glowing with the steady hum of time, dim slightly, as though even ancient lights have decided to soften. The whole universe seems to exhale, a long, gentle sigh that echoes into eternity. You drift deeper into this sigh, and as you do, you feel the boundaries of your body blur once more. Your arms, your chest, your breath, they are no longer distinct. They dissolve into the rhythm of the stars, into the hum of galaxies, into the pause between pulses of light. What remains is not you, not them, but us, all together in a chorus of rest. This is not sleep as escape, but sleep as return, a return to the fabric that has always held you. Now imagine each star closing its eyes. Their twinkle dims, not into darkness, but into a softer glow, like embers settling at the bottom of a hearth. The sky grows quieter, as though the very constellations are laying themselves down, curling into patterns of rest. Orion lowers his bow. The Pleiades gather close, the Southern Cross folds its arms. They are no longer guides or symbols. They are companions drifting into dream. In this stillness, time itself seems to fall asleep. The seconds no longer tick. The hours no longer march forward. Instead, you are suspended in a moment that stretches endlessly, like a single note held in infinite patience. You do not feel the need to move forward or backward. You are not counting. You are not waiting. You are simply here, in the vast pause of the cosmos. The silence is so deep it feels alive, like a presence wrapping around you, holding you, carrying you further into rest. Thoughts that once pressed for attention now seem irrelevant, like whispers fading in a distant room. Emotions that once stirred within you soften, becoming ripples that vanish upon the surface of a still pond. What remains is a core of quiet, glowing faintly, steady and calm. The universe itself seems to sleep, and in its sleep you are safe. The stars have not abandoned you. They have welcomed you into their slumber, invited you to join the endless rhythm of rest that underlies all things. You are not falling asleep alone. You are falling asleep with galaxies, with constellations, with rivers of light that have slowed their flow. You are part of the great exhale, the great sigh, the great pause of existence. As you sink deeper, you may imagine yourself becoming smaller and smaller, until you are no more than a speck of dust drifting in a beam of starlight. And then smaller still, until you are the starlight itself, a wave of energy flowing gently across eternity. You are no longer something separate to be carried. You are the carrying, the flow, the calm. And in this realization, there is no fear, only release. The stars are asleep, the galaxies are asleep. Time itself is asleep, and you too are asleep, or nearly so, balanced on the edge of dream, ready to step across the threshold where words end and silence begins. Block 20, the closing of the sky. The night has carried you far, through whispers of light and truths older than memory. Now, as the journey comes to its quiet conclusion, the stars above you no longer feel like distant lanterns. They feel like companions who have walked beside you, step by step, until you were ready to rest. The facts have been spoken, the stories told, the silence embraced. What remains is the simple rhythm of your breath, the weight of your body sinking into the surface beneath you, and the infinite patience of the cosmos holding you without condition. Imagine the stars now not as countless, but as one. A single vast glow stretching across eternity, wrapping you in its presence. There are no constellations, no distances, no separations. There is only light, softened into a lullaby, dimmed into a gentle hum that vibrates in your chest. You are not watching the stars anymore. You are closing your eyes with them, letting their endless patience guide you inward. The galaxies around you are no longer wheels turning. They are pillows of light, vast and silent, suspended in a universe that has chosen stillness over motion. The constellations have laid themselves down. Orion rests his bow. Cassiopeia folds her arms. The Southern Cross lowers into silence. Every myth has become dream. Every guide has become memory. The sky itself is closing, not as an ending, but as a curtain being drawn gently over a stage, leaving only quiet. Your thoughts drift slower now, like feathers caught in the calmest of breezes. Each one falls softly and disappears before touching the ground. Your body, once tense with the weight of the day, is no longer holding itself. It is surrendered, weightless, as if the stars themselves are carrying you into the deepest part of rest. Sleep does not arrive as a sudden visitor. It arrives as the natural continuation of stillness, as inevitable as night itself. And as you drift into that rest, I invite you, gently, without rush, without demand, to leave a trace of your presence here in this constellation we are building together. If this journey through the stars has cradled you, if it has eased your breath and softened your mind, consider liking this video, sharing it with someone who also longs for peace, and subscribing to this channel so that we can keep returning to the sky together, night after night. And if your heart allows, leave a comment below. Perhaps tell me which moment, which image, which truth rested most deeply within you. Your voice becomes one more star in this shared sky, one more lantern glowing quietly for others who wander here. Now close your eyes fully. Let the weight of the day fall away. Let the patience of starlight become your patience, the stillness of galaxies become your stillness. The journey has ended, but the calm continues. You are safe. You are held. You are glowing faintly in the cradle of the universe, already dissolving into dream. Sleep now, deeply, peacefully, as the stars have always slept, not extinguished but eternal, glowing softly in silence.